I mean, can we please? It is time for Who Said It?
Great guitar on that.
Oh, my God. All right, this is where Roberto curates a list of our cohort's audio. We have to guess who the hell said it. Usually features searing sarcasm. Roberto, the floor is yours.
All right, so I got all new audio heard this week on this station, all from our colleagues or maybe even you yourself. Let's play the game. Did people really appreciate women comedians at first? Probably not as much as they should. Joan Rivers stood out forever, and it took a long time for others, right?
Evan, you want to go first?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because, so this week's been kind of hectic. I haven't been able to listen as much as I'd like in the past. But who the hell is going to be talking about Joan Rivers? I've narrowed it down to two. It's either Stoney or Gator. And I'm going to go with Stoney. I mean, why would you bring up female and then, like, talk down on them and stuff? Like, it's Stoney, 100%.
David.
Yeah, the first thing I thought of was Stoney. You're right, because he's talking down to female comedians. It's like, okay, that's got to be Stoney all day. He would do it.
And who would remember back then that female comedians were talked down upon?
Yeah, that female comedian, they're out there talking. Who's listening to them?
I guess they're all right.
Yeah, it's got to be Stoney. Me and David looked at each other and was like, that's it. It's Stoney. 100%.
DJ?
Yeah, I'm riding the train. I think there's only two guys old enough.
What, the Senile Express?
Yeah, right, yeah. Talking about Jonah. I thought Stoney or Wojo, but I think Wojo's still somewhat there, that he wouldn't actually degrade women on air. I don't think Stoney is. I think Stoney just seems like he has no filter these days. So that was, I think I'm going to go with Stoney as well.
By the way, can I just state for the record, TJ's definition of being all there is that you don't openly degrade
on live air.
You know what? The Lions are going to lose by 50. That's the way this show's going. I'm riding the wave. Stoney's the only one who would say something just so patently absurd in 2022.
See, could have been one more time, Roberto.
Did people really appreciate women comedians at first? Probably not as much as they should. Joan Rivers stood out forever, and it took a long time for others, right?
You know what? I'm gonna go Wojo for this. This sounds like a Wojo with that right at the end.
No, it just sounds like a topic I don't care about.
It's actually not
Why
as
are we
bad
talking
as
about comedians and whatever? Roberto, who the hell said it? Let's move along.
All right, let's hear who said it.
Did people really appreciate women comedians at first?
Dang it.
We knew it was somebody like that.
Joan Rivers stood out forever, and it took a while for others, right?
Now, the context of that is
Wojo
is actually trying to clean up Stoney's mess.
Okay.
Stoney blatantly said that male comedians are funnier than women comedians.
That's what, when you first read it, that was the impression I got. And when you reread it to Rico, I was like, well, that's actually kind of a compliment. They didn't appreciate him as much as first. I almost changed it.
The right thing, like that's Wojo.
Yeah.
He always ends his sentence.
Correct.
And also
noticing something ridiculous that Stoney said on air.
Another Wednesdays with Wojo made an appearance.
Right?
Really adding value to the station.
Talking about
They literally call the man. It's 9:30 in the morning. He's
That's what you
still
wanna
pickled
talk
from the night before, likely nude, and it sounds like he's calling in from the world's Alexander Graham Bell's first phone.
Buffalo Bob
Okay.
sitting in his living room.
Yeah, buck naked Bob, his blood pressure pulsating through his forehead.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Buffalo Bob. All right, what's next?
One
right,
down.
Here we go. My emotional tie in this game is strictly draft pick related. No ties to Stafford.
Oh, gosh, that could have been anything.
Rico Beard.
Wow, that one's difficult. One more time, Roberto.
My emotional tie in this game is strictly draft pick related. No ties to Stafford.
You know what? I'm going to go off the board. I'm going to say Kang because Kang is Mr. Draft Guy. I'm going to go Kang.
Who appointed him Mr. Draft Guy?
I mean, he holds his
All right, let's
draft
go.
at Ford Field.
Ooh. Let's go to Kenny.
He's draft guy maybe, but that's draft show. I think that might have been Doug because he values those draft picks.
And you know what, too, Kenny? I'm where you're at with this. That was the whole I'm above it all, very matter of fact. I'm a broadcaster. It's very Doug.
Well, the thing is, they have an embargo, so he can't really talk Stafford. So I think he's explaining, I'm not really talking Stafford, but I'm saying it's about the draft pick.
Oh, we got Scotland Yard on the case.
I like that, David. I may have to change my vote.
Could be wrong, though.
Man of influence.
He is convincing, isn't he?
He is.
In the emotional tie. Like, why would you say emotional? Like,
I'm going to go
screw
with
Stafford.
I'm switching. I'm going with Doug because you're right. They refuse to talk Matt Stafford.
And that's
even though
nothing
it's popular.
that
Matthew.
these guys said yesterday when talking about Stafford.
I was wondering that, too, if it was Mike or Rico, but I don't think so.
No, because
I openly was like, I am emotional. I'm sick of this guy. I'm sick of the perfection and all the.
Yeah.
and Roberto usually only does like one day with this, so I'm going to go Doug as well.
Yeah, I told people to burn their Detroit Rams stuff in their fire pits.
You know, we actually had takes.
No
TJ,
embargo.
I kind of what David was saying, how they don't talk about him, but also it sounded kind of like maybe a Stafford apologist. And, like, I'm over that now, and I'm emotionally attached to the Lions draft pick. And I know Karsh, towards the end of last season, that's all he talked about. So I'm kind of leaning towards Karsh as well.
Roberto, who said it?
Let's hear it.
My emotional tie in this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Related. No ties to Stafford.
But by the way, that was just open slander for about 3.5 minutes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
Just
the
to get
way
that
we
answer.
worked, the way we just worked into that answer, and it was just. Poor
have
Doug
it-
was like a crash test dummy right there.
No, Mike, they have an embargo, a Stafford embargo. This exists.
At least Kenny
You know
didn't
what?
say anything bad about Kane this segment.
Hey, David, maybe we should have
Oh my God!
a JJ embargo on this show.
Oh my God!
We're about to have a TJ got out of the studio embargo. Is what we're about to have.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well,
saying he
Roberto, you
slandered
better start
everybody
talking,
else?
buddy.
Let's just ignore it.
All right, here's the next one.
Yeah, Kenny's not so brave now, is
There
he?
we go. Here you go. This is a good observation that you made yesterday, and I was thinking, yeah, I rarely call Sarah by her name. It's maybe 5% of the time.
Who?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Well, isn't Jim's wife's name Sarah?
Costa?
No, Jim Harbaugh. Isn't she a Sarah?
All right. Oh, hold on. Let's have some order here. Let's go to the only guy to apply and get accepted to an Ivy League school, Rico Beard.
Oh, it's not me.
Yeah, it definitely ain't you. I didn't say burnout from Roseville.
I have no clue. So you know what, Evan? That sounds good enough for me. I'll go Jansen.
Oh, yeah.
That's it? That's all it takes?
Dude, I'm like, who the hell is Sarah?
Say it
Sarah
again.
Lee? I mean, what are we talking about?
Want to hear it again?
Yeah.
This is a good observation that you made yesterday, and I was thinking, yeah, I rarely call Sarah by her name. It's maybe 5% of the time.
Huh. And who was thinking that in depth about Sarah a day later?
I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try to think this through.
Gator.
Greg.
Oh, stop it.
I think it's Greg.
Oh, that's his wife's
I think
name,
that's
right?
his wife's name. I think.
Jeez, I wonder what he calls
That's what I
her.
was calling her 95% of the time.
But I'm just thinking, he would think about it and stew on it a little bit longer than a regular person. I mean, I'm
I
sorry.
also. Kenny, please. I'm sure you have something to add.
I don't. I'm just going to throw a dart at the board. I kind of like David's pick. I'll go with Greg.
Yeah, lead the way, David. I'm going with David as well. It's got to be Greg.
Normally, David's just converting people's religion, but today it's
Mike,
dominating this game.
I heard David talking the other day about how he should be a detective and stuff, and now, hearing all this, he probably should be.
Yeah, well, you know what? Why don't we start with him? Why don't we start with him finding a good show topic before we get to something?
Hey!
Zing.
2 hands and a flashlight. All right, hold on.
I think Evan brought up a good point. I think Jim Harbaugh's wife's name is Sarah.
Yeah, but what's John going to call her?
Mrs. Harbaugh.
Oh, the missus?
Right. So
Mrs. Coach.
That's kind of he's the
Mrs.
only
Khaki.
He's the only person that would have some sort of relationship, I think, in this.
You
in
think
this
John's
office
going
with
home
John Harbaugh or
and
with Jim Harbaugh?
thinking about what like Stoney said to him earlier in the day?
No, but you set off a ticker, man.
Wow.
I'm just gonna. I'm with Kenny. I'm gonna throw a dart at the board and just say Jansen, based off
So,
what
hold on,
Evan said.
Did we settle on, is Greg's wife, is her name Sarah?
95% sure.
I guess
5% of the time.
It's the only one I can think of. I think I know everyone else's wife's name, so I don't know.
Man.
Yeah, get my wife's name out of your mouth, David.
Whoa. Everybody calm down. I'm going to go, oh, hell. He's your broadcast partner, TJ. You should know if it's John.
I don't know what he calls Miss Harbaugh 95% of the time. I'm assuming it's Mrs. Harbaugh.
I'll go with John. I don't think Roberto's creative enough to find the 3 words Greg says a day. I'll go to John. Why? He doesn't talk a lot. It wasn't a shot. Come on.
All right.
That's not.
But also remember, Mike, it was probably right before or right after Wednesdays with Wojo.
I must have missed it. All right, go ahead.
Here we go.
This is a good observation that you made yesterday,
Wow.
and I was thinking, I rarely call Sarah by her name. It's maybe 5% of the time.
Wow.
Detective
What
Dave?
does he call
Was that
her?
Hatchet that got that?
No, I did not. I didn't touch that. Damn it, DJ. I mean, Rico.
What? Oh, that's what I do. I have the board. Wow, that's really good, Hatchet.
Gee,
Detective.
That's amazing. Roberto, what does he call her?
I don't know.
Wait, you didn't listen long enough to get the answer to
Of
this
course
station
not.
mystery? Oh my
I think
God!
I think he's saying like babe.
So was it before or after Wednesdays with Wojo?
I don't remember.
I think he just told you.
That's a good segment, though. I mean, Hatchet, do you call your wife by her name? I'm just trying
No.
to think. I rarely call my wife
Something's
by her
important,
name as well.
yes,
Yeah.
but
Boo
no.
boo.
What do you?
Yeah,
do
that's
you
when you
call
know
her?
when it's something important, you use
Just-
the name.
Yeah, right.
That normally means you're in trouble.
Hey you.
Hey, babe, what are we
Or
doing?
in my
Yeah.
case, something's wrong with the kids.
TJ
I need
walks
your
in the
help
room.
or something.
Hey, you.
David,
Yeah.
you know automatically.
Hey,
Let me
you.
turn off the TV.
What's for
yes,
dinner?
honey.
He's like Mr. T in Rocky 3. Woman!
Oh no! Me, TJ, you wife.
What are you making me for dinner?
Fire.
Oh my God! I want no part of anything happening right
Hatch,
now.
good for you, man. That was a great call.
That was tremendous.
That was impressive.
And TJ, we thank you for sticking around for this. Wasn't it enjoyable?
Yeah, what do we got next segment? I got nothing to do tonight.
Let's,
I think it might be time for me to get out of here, fellas.
I think Jimmy wants to see you in his office.
You've done
That
damage
might be
on
your
the
next
air
move.
and off the
Yeah,
air
I saw
today.
Rico talking to him in the office after last break.
I do want to ask you one question about the JJ thing. If you'd like to stick around for one more segment.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, one more. I got
Yeah,
you.
throw another dip in. You'll be fine.
Hey,